I should expect it every time, but I don't.
I knew Christmas. That's why I was like, deuces. What's up, y'all? Hey, Chris.
Hey, we're recording.
It's been a minute.
We are recording now. Yes, it's a minute. Oh, please, let's not get into what happened to the last recording that I lost. My laptop died. Anyway, y'all, look at here. We've been talking about this for a minute, and I know it's been all over the internet, but there was a couple that went on vacation. I guess homeboy makes a lot of money, and she don't.
He makes $150,000, and she makes like what?
45.
45,000.
I've got the letter. I've got the letter that he wrote. So let me read this. We're gonna talk about it. All right. Hello, my girlfriend, myself, my parents, and my brother and his wife all went on vacation. I already have a problem with that. All went on vacation in another country a week ago. My brother and I were the ones who did most of the planning of the itinerary, although we did ask everyone else for input. For background, I make around $150,000 as an IT consultant. My girlfriend is a teacher making $45,000. My parents are pretty affluent, as well as my brother and sister-in-law. My girlfriend knew this trip was coming up and took on a second job, waitressing, on the weekends for several months to get ready for it. We have always split things 50-50 in the 2 years we have been together. There were a few times on the vacation when she did not go on outings with us, wine tasting, scuba diving, etc. She also would only eat 2 meals a day, simply stating that she was on a budget. My family does favor more high-end, expensive places. My parents thought it was very strange that she only eats 2 meals a day, although normally she eats 3. Problematic. When we got home, I asked her why she skipped out on several of the outings and only ate 2 meals a day. The fact that he waited until they got home. But I digress. I mentioned how I heard her stomach growling, really, one night, and she said I was concerned about her having an eating disorder. He's got problems. She got teary-eyed and said that 3 meals a day wasn't fiscally feasible for her, and neither were the outings that she chose not to go on. She went on 3 of 6 outings. She said she was not expecting everything to cost so much, and she was overwhelmed. She also said she doesn't know if this is going to work long-term. You think? If she is expected to go on vacations like that with people who make so much more than her, I feel bad that I did not pick up on her discomfort sooner. But we did agree to split everything 50-50, and I don't know why she agreed to come if the cost was an issue. Jesus, who wants to go first?
So much stuff. Go ahead, Shahidah. I can't even.
The level of selfishness.
Yes. That
this man displays. I'll just focus on that. We'll all take something because there's just so much to get for. So I'll go with selfishness. This man is so selfish with his stuff, his money, obviously, that knowing that he makes $100,000 more than a teacher who is out there, I'm just going to get on my pedestal here, out there teaching our children and getting paid nothing for it.
I don't know why teachers don't get, I just don't get, I don't understand.
To me.
It makes no sense.
It doesn't.
No.
So not only is you're making $100,000 more than her, you're choosing not to, a person that you're dating, just say, let me treat this woman.
First of all, when you say we agreed to go 50-50 on everything, you say that to me, I'm saying we'll go 50-50, like based off of the letter or whatever that was, we don't know if they live together. So I'm assuming when he made the comment, we agreed to go 50-50 on everything. I assumed that they live together. They're roommates or whatever. They're obviously not married. So when you say that, I'm thinking, okay, we live together. We can go 50-50 on the rent, the cable, the bills to sustain our life. But if we go on vacation now, that's off the table. Like you're making a whole 100,000 more than me. If I was making 100,000 more than my guy, I'm going to assume if he doesn't have it, I would never expect him. First of all, the fact that he let her go out and get a part-time job waitressing is problematic for me. I would have been like, why are you getting a second job? Because I want to have money for this trip. Oh, no, boo-boo. That would have been, his response should have been, no, babe. We're going with my family. And we're going to do something. I got you. I got us. Don't worry about that. You don't have to go get no second job.
If it's with the family.
Thank you.
Especially if it's with the family. And you are thinking about bringing her, if she's that close, you're thinking about bringing her into your family, and you treat her like this to her family. Now, if her family scoffs at her saying, oh, she's just a teacher, or if they're that snobby and that's what he's worried about, that's another thing he has a problem with. But if he's going to bring his girlfriend on the trip and she's doing things to try to earn her way on the trip, she could say, you know, he could say, hey, if you come up with the airfare, even if he said, you come up with the airfare, I got you for the rest of it.
Exactly.
And it would have been her airfare. I wouldn't even expected her to pay my ticket. I'm making a whole $100,000 more than you. I'd be like, babe, all you gotta do is come up with your plane ticket. Right. You come up with the plane ticket, I got us the rest of the trip. You ain't got to worry about nothing. Right. I'm not going to wait until the end of my trip to get home and say, well, I heard your stomach growling a couple of times. What kind of shit is that?
And even if the first time you're like, oh shit, she really can't. He knows she can't afford it.
Thank you.
If he knows that she can't, and she's not, oh, I'm not going to go on this one. Why, babe? I just don't feel like it. No, because I can't fucking afford it, dude.
And how do you sit next to somebody and not offer them a meal on your damn trip? You didn't offer her a meal when her stomach started growling. It just didn't click. And there is no such thing as 50-50 relationship. It's 20-80, 30-70, 60-40. It changes constantly. Mm-hmm. You know, everything has its seasons for all of that. It changes constantly. There's no such thing. And I don't know why people say that. And to go into a relationship, I didn't get that they lived separately. I mean, that they lived together. I thought that they lived separately.
They must have lived separately, I would imagine.
I just assumed they lived together because he said we go 50-50 on everything. So I'm saying to myself, well, what's everything? Like,
I'm thinking that's just like dinner, entertainment, you know, that's how I read it.
Yeah, but I'm thinking if you're going on vacations with the whole fam, like it's not just the parents, it's the brother, his wife, you're in. So it's like,
that doesn't necessarily mean you have to live together.
Yeah, that's true too. But I'm like, at this point, everybody's living together these days, especially these young kids. These are like 20, he's what, 29? What did it say? He's 29 and she's 20 something.
That's no young kid. That's a grown ass man who should know.
Well, I agree. And I'm kind of side eyeing his family, because how you gonna have your son and his girl on the trip, and why are you asking your son? I mean, you could ask your son, how come she's not coming on these excursions with us? How come she's only eating 2 meals a day? I'd have to be like, girl, what's going on with you? As a mother and as a woman, I would have to be, I'm not a mother, but I'm a woman. I'd be like, what's going on? How come, come on, come have dinner with us. I don't care if we're going to this expensive place. Let's go have dinner. Come, don't you worry about this. Because I find it hard to believe that family, I find it hard to believe that family is going all to dinner together. And now when the bill comes, they're all pooling their money together.
Exactly.
Right.
And saying, we're going to, you know, oh, me and daddy had this. Son and his wife had this, and now you and your girlfriend had this. You know that bill's getting paid. So the fact that she wasn't going, that's problematic to me. There's something off here.
And then I'm surprised that the mother or something didn't say, "Hey, is Daphne okay?" Whatever.
Okay.
I'm like, you know, is she feeling okay? Or, you know, and is she?
Well, he said, he said his mother asked him, why isn't she coming on these excursions, or why isn't she coming to all the dinners, the meals and stuff? Now, what he said to her, we don't know. But again, as a mother, you could have asked your son, but why ain't you going to Daphne and saying, hey, what's going on? Why are you in the hotel room? That don't make no sense. Or why are you sitting on the beach?
Why are you in coach and we're all in first class?
Right? Why are you in row 54B,
right.
the middle seat at the back of the plane, and we all up here lounging out in the Maldives section.
And take a boat. And then you had to be a stewardess on the boat? That's some weird shit. So you get all the way to Jamaica. Wow. I didn't know you knew the tour operator and you were going to help out on the thing too. Well, they're going to give me a discount.
They're going to give me they're going to give me my third meal that my stomach's growling for free. Thank you very much. But that's some all out fuckery. And I'm sorry, if I was her, listen, I would have never made it to the trip if it was me. Because if I had to go out and get a second job just to be able to afford to go, he didn't man up and say to me, don't worry about it, boo-boo. I got you. You're coming on a trip with me and my family. You know, you're my girl. I got this. I understand you're a teacher. God bless you. You're an educator, educating these children, but you don't get the salary that you so justly deserve. I got you on this vacation. It would have never gotten to that. If I would have said, I'm going to go get a second job as a waitress, and he said, okay, I would have been like, yeah, we're done here. And I would have had to bounce. He'd have been gone. Ain't no dick that good. Sorry, not sorry.
No, there absolutely is not. Like you said, I questioned the family and him. And
it starts with him, though. It starts with him.
It definitely starts. It starts with him. When I say beginning and end. When I say the family, I'm just going to Tanya's point about the mother and just not the family not even noticing and taking care.
Well, he's a product of his family. They raised him.
Yeah. But I was reading some of the comments, which were funny. But did you see he tried to double down on it a little in the second letter?
I didn't see that, so do tell.
I don't have it on my phone, but yeah, then he was trying to say, but we decided to do 50-50 or whatever, so it really is on her.
You decided
so he's under the bus.
And if she couldn't do it, she wasn't going to come. He wasn't going to
invite her.
That's some bullshit, though.
That is straight bullshit. And are they still together? Because I'm sorry,
I don't think so. They can't.
They can't be together. If they're still together, then she's just dumber than a sack of fucking rocks. Because all the shit that's been out there on the internet, she got to let his ass go.
I questioned it at first, but who's gonna lie about it? It's such a stupid story, and it made him look so bad. So it probably is real. But
yeah,
as for her, especially after reading all the comments, I would have hoped that at the very end, when they got back from the trip, because the way he made it sound at the end, you had a lot of sympathy for her. He made her sound really sad, and his response still was not of a caring boyfriend. I don't understand how, as a human being, you miss that opportunity to be better when you make 100 damn grand more.
It's a no-brainer, period. End of story. It's a no-brainer. I mean, we've all dated, between the three of us, probably dated people that we made more money than. I have. I'm just going to speak for myself. I have. And it was never an issue for me. If we went out and, if his money was funny or whatever, I'd be like, that's good. I got that. And I used to go even further, and depending on who it was, I'd give him the money. If I knew it was going to be an issue for him that I have to pull out my credit card and pay, if we would have an out in public eating dinner or having drinks or whatever, I'd either slip him my credit card or I'd go to the ATM and get the cash and just be like, just put it in your wallet and be the man.
All I want is the reach. That's all I really want.
No,
seriously. All I want is for me to say, no, I got it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. No, and you know what? That's some dope shit.
With friends or this, that, and the other. But if I'm going on a date with you and I'm a very traditional, when I, even if I didn't have, now here's an interesting situation. When I was like 30, I had no money. So I was dating a woman who was making almost $100,000 a year, and I was making 30. I mean, I was making no money as an actor.
Mm-hmm.
little things here and there, but still I was, $55,000 in credit card debt, trying to pay that off, keeping my credit good, all that kind of stuff. So I would try to come up with things to compensate for when she was at work and her aunt, she lived with her aunt and they were away. I got the Christmas tree. I set it up for them in their 3 walk up thing. I bought dinner for them. I made lemon chicken for them. I tried to do things that I could physically do that I couldn't be like throw it on a credit card. Of course, she went, "Oh, it's too lemony." After the thing. But anyway, I digress. But I would try to do things to compensate. And I remember we were going to go on vacation, and I was going to use my points. Got all these frequent flyer points when you can use frequent flyer points. Had all these miles. We're going to do this and the other. And I was trying to figure out, the best way to do it. We were about to plan this trip. And she said, "You know what? You can't afford it. I'm just going to go with my girlfriends." And I was like,
"Oh, no, Jesus."
We're going to go. She's like, no, it's all right now. I'm used to having people pay for me. So can I give you money under the table and you can pay for me?
Oh, well, that's,
yeah. No. No, she's like, well, I'm used to it because I don't like when you can't pay for me. So can I give you money to make?
Yeah, that's a little different.
Well, that wording is just disrespectful. Period.
Exactly.
And
but
she was trying
to the person that said, "I like taller, browner with brown eyes, but she'll do." So that's the same type of mentality. But I would try to at least make up for it in other ways. So in this case with her, if she didn't have enough money, she could make him dinner. She could do this and the other. So when I've took a woman out on a couple dates and I was paying for it, and there was no like I don't want to be expected to pay for things.
Right.
Even though I will, and even though I will, I don't want to be expecting to pay for things. So if you just go, "Oh, how much is thing?" or you do something, so it's okay. "Are you sure?" "I got it." That gives me a little power too. It makes me feel good too that I got you, and it makes you feel at least you stepped up yourself to me, even though you're not going to pay. But don't not reach. And I had to break up with a woman because I said, "This is the 3rd meal we're having, and you haven't reached to me. You haven't reached, and we're not going to an expensive place. Let me see if you reach." She didn't reach. I broke that shit off. I broke it. I was like, you know what? I took her to a football game. We drove 2 hours. We went to a professional football game. Came up, had dinner, this, that, and the other. And then we went to like a small little place to get. I'm like, "You're not going to even pay for this? Like, I know you want me to pay for everything, and you may not make a lot of money, but you can at least reach.
You can at least try. Yeah,
or say, "Hey, let me take you on. Let me make dinner for you, or let me but let me do something. Do something for you. And so in that case with her, maybe he could have said, "You pay for your thing, but let me take care of you." The equity based on 150 and 40, and knowing that you're trying to be together. Sometimes you gotta lift up a little bit and go with, take them with, and they can compensate with other things. You know what I mean?
See, he too is being a classist by how he addressed his family, his amount of money, and really disregarded that he was making $100,000 more.
Yeah,
right. But and I don't think, and another reason why I don't think that they live together either is because I felt he needs her to come up more before he makes a step like that. That type of person.
Where did you get that from, though? Because I didn't get that.
That he was a classist?
Yeah, but you can't. How are you going to be a classist dating someone that makes $45,000 a year?
You're not marrying her.
Yeah, but why are you taking her on the family vacation? He can still fuck her and be with her, but you ain't taking her to the family vacation.
Some people will. My point is, I just felt that he felt like he was a classist, even though he is dating somebody that makes less, but that makes him also feel really good about himself, because he does seem to be a little bit of an egomaniac with that, we're doing 50-50 thing. That's just not reasonable. A thinking person wouldn't think that way when the person makes $100,000 less.
There was another thing on here that said, I'm sorry, guys. So I took a vacation with my boyfriend. I paid for it with the understanding he would pay for the next one. We broke up. His share was $5,300. Is it wrong to ask him to pay me back?
No.
No.
They agreed to split it, and no.
Wait a minute, hold on. Say that again. They went on a vacation that
I paid for with the understanding he would pay for the next one, which is dumb on her part.
Yeah.
Either you split it down the middle or don't, because you'd be like, oh, you pay for this one? Okay, you pay for this one. See that, you know. Because I actually, in my silly youth, met a woman and wanted her to come to Brazil with my family.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, if you pay for your flight, because I had the Amex buy one, get one free first class ticket. So I was like, we will split the price. I think it was like $6,000 or whatever for a first class ticket at that time.
Yeah.
And for 2 people, it'd be $3,000 a piece or something like that. I'm like, if you split, we'll go first class. I'll pay for the tickets. You pay me back. And then when you get to, be with the hotel, I'll take care of everything there or, most stuff there or whatever. And we went and then we broke up and I was like, you got my money for my flight?
Well, yeah, because you agreed on that.
Yeah.
We had been back for like a month. And I'm like, yo, like, we had a nice time and everything, but do you have my money? And I was like,
$1,000. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you gonna pay me my money. I'm gonna get my money. And I was harassing her and I was like, I'm gonna get my money. And did I get my money? Oh, I got my money.
You damn right.
But I was like, I don't understand why she couldn't have at least been like, oh, well, shit, that's a good deal for me.
Yeah. That's a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm. Wait, I'm sorry. I really did get lost.
Well, okay, listen. I got this. Listen, I get it. That's a deal. That's a deal.
I'm embarrassed. I'm sorry.
Don't be embarrassed, girl. Handle your business. It's Edible Fridays. Oops. It's edibles and vodka Fridays. Stick my pinky out. What the hell is that, Christopher?
It's a vape pen.
Oh, is that weed?
Yeah, it's a vape pen.
I've never seen. Well, when you say vape, I think it was just like regular vape, just with nothing in it. I've never seen that.
Really?
I mean, not like that. That looks. That's cool. That's kind of classy looking.
Like a pen, so you can take it places.
Yeah.
Okay. I keep forgetting that it's all legal there.
There it is.
I'm sorry, I missed your point. And we were saying what?
She should have paid him back. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, that was ridiculous. She should. No,
I don't give a damn. Listen, I don't give a damn if the ticket was $350 as opposed to $6,000. Bitch, pay him the money. Yeah. Like he took care of everything while you was there.
Spur on to how relationships are nowadays with traditional. Because I sent you the thing about the opening the doors and that kind of thing, and then he opened the door for me, like, get your ass back in the car.
I love that.
Yeah. And what's really funny about that is, you, as a man, I tell this to my nephew. I tell the young men, you have such an advantage if you do something for a woman that other men are not going to do, that haven't thought about that. Like even the smallest thing. Now I'm obsessed with it, and it doesn't feel like, when you have a seatbelt on and you don't have your seatbelt on, and you're driving in a car, and it feels like I need to have my seat. I don't feel comfortable sitting in the seat without my seatbelt on, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When I walk with a woman, girlfriend, when I walk with a woman down the street,
you better not.
I'm always on the outside. I always keep it to be. I always do that, and it feels weird to me. It feels weird to me if I'm not on that side. So now it's like an OCD thing.
Oh, don't get it twisted.
And I'll guide them. I'll move them, to the side. And I'm like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I like to, walk on." Now that's a selfish thing with me. But they're like, I've never had a man do that.
Nope, there ain't nothing selfish about that.
And then you go into the etymology of where it came from, because in Old England they used to throw garbage out of. There's 3 different theories. so the garbage out of the windows, and it would protect them, more from the garbage that was thrown out. Also, the scabbard was on the outside of the hip to keep her safe on the inside, and not just the cars, not that car thing. And the third one was, that was the regular one. Everyone thinks it's to protect from cars, the garbage, and whatever. So, but there's small advantages to, and I get if it's a date. Now, Sheeta was saying, if you go on a Target and you've been dating for a while, I'm not opening the door for you every fucking time. But if
come on, see, that's why I have a problem, because if I'm with you was doing that before, don't get lazy. You gonna open that damn door.
He said
special occasion and date.
Even at Target, even if we're together, this is how I roll. If we're together, listen to me. When we get in you better open my car door when I get in the car. I don't have we all have this. Nope, just every day, all the time. When we go to the car, you need to open my door. I'll get out. I'll let myself out of the car, because I'm not going to sit there like Ivana Trump and wait for you to walk, get out, turn the car off, get out, walk around. No, I'll get out.
Talking about.
Oh, I thought you was talking about like if you were walking into a store or a restaurant or the mall, you better open my door.
I'm talking about the car door. I'm talking about the car door. If we're going to Target,
okay, you lost me there. I digress. I was about to have a moment.
And we're just going someplace, I'm not going to open up the car door for you.
I don't expect you to open up the car door for me to get out. But I want you to open up the car door for me to get in.
Only on dates.
No.
But opening the regular door, and here's another thing. Did you know that in a revolving door, the man is supposed to go first?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
No, I'm chilling. I just can't stand. I just don't understand the fact that only on dates that you're going to open up the car door. If we're driving in the same car, regardless if we're going to the supermarket or we're going out for dinner and drinks, you need to open my door. It doesn't take too much time, because we're both walking to the car together. I have family members. I have men in my family.
Getting out.
No.
If he wants to open it when we're
leaving to go somewhere, open my door.
Out of the car.
Okay, getting out. Okay, we can all in agreement. Getting out of the car after we got to our establishment. Yes. I will take myself out the car.
No. On a date, see, that's where I have a problem with it. On a date, I will put you in the fucking car and I will get you out of the fucking car. I will. If we're on a date and it's an official, the two of us are going someplace, I will do that. Now, if it's us just going to the store or whatever, if I'm
not going to open the door?
No, not all the time. If I'm on that side, but if we have to go someplace where, I'm not going to run around and open the door and then run back. Yeah. It takes too much time. And also, it takes away from how special it is. It takes away.
No. It will never take that specialness away from me. I absolutely love it. It makes me moist in my lady parts.
All the time, but you can't do all the time. And
yes, you can do it all the time, especially with me. Do it all the time.
She would establish in her relationship, and that's
because I will look at you sideways. I will look at you sideways, and I will let your ass go. You could be the unicorn, and if you let me walk on the street side. If we're walking down the street, I commend you for that, Chris, and I respect and wholeheartedly love you for the fact that you do that. Well, but I don't give a damn if we're even walking the dog. You better be on that outside of the street.
Yeah, that's fine. But the third thing was, if she's on the outside, it's almost like a pimp saying that she's available. Mm-hmm. That's the third thing. So it's always placed on the inside. Yeah. But it's so interesting.
And I thought that was common.
When you walking the outside?
Yeah. On the sidewalk, on the street.
But a lot of men don't. A lot of men have no clue about that.
I'm always looking at couples, and I'm like,
I do too, and I judge them, and I give them all side eyes.
If she's bad, you should be on the side,
Mm-hmm. I say it, and I'm like, girl.
I'm talking about like our generation, 10 years younger. I see it in that age group more than I do in younger people. I will.
Are they still doing it?
older people doing it, yeah, that's why I see it. That's why I'm like, I thought that was common. But then I guess if I pay attention to younger people, maybe not so much.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but again, that's on upbringing, because it's like our parents showed us certain things. And why can't the parents of these millennials or these younger kids show them what to do? I don't understand that.
I don't know if my dad must have done it. I don't remember him doing it, but he must have done it. Well, but I don't think he opened my door for my mom, because my mom is fiercely independent too. It's like, I can open the fucking door for myself, like type thing. So,
but see, I've always been fiercely independent, and my dad wasn't in my life. But I had uncles in my life that showed me that's what you do for a lady, and a brother that did that. So I was like, okay. So I didn't expect anything less.
So if he gets out of the car, see, will you just sit there until he opens the door?
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't care if we get to our destination, I will open my own door and take myself out of the car. But if we're in the house, or we're somewhere at a store and we're leaving to get back in the car, you better go over to my side and
So how does he know,
open my door first.
How does he know what's okay and what's not okay? Because
I'm very communicative. I tell him. I've had a guy, listen, I went out on a date. This was when I first bought my house, and I got asked out on a date, and the guy came, and I told him, I said, here's another pet peeve of mine. Don't you roll up in front of my door and beep the fucking horn. You better park the fucking car. I have a driveway. Pull in my driveway, turn off your ignition, and ring my bell. Or if you're too lazy to come ring my bell, call me. But I will not hear a.
What if he opens the door like this? He goes, "Come on, get in, come on."
Oh no! Well, I'll tell you this story. No, we're done. We're done.
Yeah, I was like,
we're done.
At least get out of the door, and
No. He did the opposite. I told him everything. I was like, "Do not come here and blow your horn." And he not only did he blow the horn, he laid on it, and I literally. I was all dressed, hair done, nails done, everything done. I walked outside, and he did the flip, hit the button that flipped up. You know how you hear the what are those little things? The locks on the doors go. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay. So I opened the door, and I was like, yeah, okay, hun. This date, I'm not going. You didn't listen to me. Oh, what are you talking about? No. You sat here and laid on your horn.
Okay, but you can't expect people. Also, I was telling a friend today, you can't have expectations for people so not high, but
that's not even high.
To you, it's not. But if a man doesn't know any better, if he doesn't know,
but I told him. That's the thing. I tell them. I've been on dates where if they want to come pick me up, because I'm not really big about people picking me up, because I don't want people to know where I live. I don't want them to know my address and shit, so that if it doesn't work out, now they stop getting cray-cray and they want to stalk me and burn my house down. But this particular person, I was like, okay, you can come get me. But when you get here, don't lay on your horn. Pull in my driveway, turn off your ignition, ring my bell. Or if you're too lazy to get out your car, text me or call me.
But you should get out of the car regardless, unless
you should. Yeah. But you should. But I gave him options. But what does he do? The one thing I told him not to do, he did. Laid on the horn. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I look out my window, and I'm like, this Negro is literally doing what I told him not to do. And then he starts texting me, because I was like, I ain't going out there. Because I was like, I'm going to see how long it's going to take him to realize what I told him. Ring my bell. And like 5 minutes, he's still honking. And then finally he texts me and calls me. And I was like, I walked outside, and I was like, this ain't going nowhere. Have a good night. Please leave.
You harsh, girl.
We're done. I'm sorry.
Your parameters for I'm telling you, you got.
I'm not asking you for much. I'm not asking you to pay bills. I'm not asking you to bring money to the table. I'm not asking you for nothing. I'm just asking you to be a man. I like chivalry.
What you think
and
is
if that's too much,
what
then
you think is a man, and
Jesus.
I agree with you on that, but a lot of people don't realize it, and not a lot of women are demanding like that. That's why they get so surprised if you open the door and you're like, oh, wow, you opened the door for me? That's also a great feeling of like, yeah, I got the door for you. And like, oh, wow, that's another level of, you know, I kind of like the fact that men aren't trained to do that kind of stuff because it gives you such an advantage. It gives you such an advantage because you're like, oh, I've never heard that. I'm like, you don't know about walking on this side of the street? And I love the fact if we're going someplace else and it's like the third date, whatever, and they walk on the outside, I'm like, come on, you know. And I'll just guide them like, you know better.
Oh, I love that shit.
Telling you.
Especially when they say, oh, you know better.
Because as C says, Shahida, we seasoned, so we know how this works. We know this game.
All my young bucks, I'm telling you. Also, I tell everybody. And when I was working, I did on my TV show. There's a couple guys that were on the brothers that were in CBS shows, and we all, see them. I see young brothers, and I bought them all handkerchiefs. I bought them all a package of handkerchiefs because I used to hate being at the club at 30 and doing this because I sweat. And then you got this.
Yep. And then you gotta stick it on your head. Yep.
Like this, and then it's in your pocket, whatever. And I was like, and I remember I said, my God's a handkerchief. So I should take a handkerchief. I've had whenever I leave my house, I got a handkerchief in my pocket. Hey. Not only if you're sweating, because I sweat a lot, if you need to blow your nose, you got something in your nose, boom, 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 boom. You don't use it again, but you blow if you need to, you got it. You can get a stain off real quick. If a woman starts to cry and you whip out a handkerchief like this, for them, they're like, I'm not crying that much anymore.
That has never happened to me.
That's never happened to me. But if that did, you would never see that. You would never see that handkerchief again because I'd be using that to wipe my moist lady parts.
At my sister's wedding, her first wedding.
I said it, Shahida. Sorry.
Started to cry. I rolled up and I was like, I rolled up as one of the best men. I was like this. I gave him a handkerchief. He was crying. I was like, I got you. Handkerchief is a great gift for a young man too.
Yes, it is.
If you just let them know. And I told Aaron, I told these guys, I'm like, telling you, when it's hot out, when you're in a thing and you're on a red carpet, you take a handkerchief out and wipe your thing just like this. Make yourself look good because you're sweating. You don't want to do this. You're not trying to do this, and you're sweating. Handkerchief.
And on a red carpet, that's not a good look because paparazzi will get your ass every time.
Paying attention to the men I know who should know better and see if they have some handkerchiefs.
I'm probably guaranteeing they're probably gonna but
I do all kinds of weird old school things. I mean, I still get the paper every day. No one reads the paper anymore.
Wait, is that what the hell paper is that?
LA Times.
They literally still print that?
Yeah, I get the paper every day. Every day.
Well,
I like the crossword.
You are old. But you are an old soul, not old, but an old soul. I like that. My mother, I never was a newspaper reader.
Let me ask you this. Now that we're into this, what about etiquette wise? What do you think about hats inside?
No, absolutely not. I don't even care if they're friggin' those pimp ass fedoras. A man should not be wearing a hat inside. It depends on where it is.
Restaurant or personal
in a restaurant or
a restaurant. No, the hat needs to come off.
You talking about a baseball hat,
like a basketball game or a baseball game or stuff like that out in the whatever. Yeah, I don't care. Going to In-N-Out Burger to get a burger, I don't care. If we go to a nice restaurant, take the hat off. It always registers with me. Like, oh, I should take my hat off. Even if I see people with a hat on, I always take my hat off. But as I said, I'm a traditionalist that way and that kind of stuff. Also teaching people how to, when they're at a fancy dinner, what fork to use for what. You know about this?
Oh, what? You know about this? Outside in rule.
Outside, yeah. What is it?
bread,
What?
drink.
What?
Bread, bread should be on the left, drink should be on the right.
Well, when you say bread, what are you talking about?
You know, when you have your bread, the
Right.
bread is there at a fancy dinner, and they have the bread, and you put the plate of bread there with the butter, and you have your drink. The bread is always on the left-hand side. So when you look at a big thing, and everyone's like, "Oh, is that my bread or is that your bread?" Your bread is always on the left hand, and the D is the drink. It was always on the right hand.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't gone to that many fancy dinners like you, sir. So when the bread comes out, it usually comes out in a basket and it sits in the middle of the table, and we just all reach for it and put it on our dinner plate and be like, slather it with some butter, and we're like,
and it's unlimited bread.
I don't know that bread
and then you work your way. By the way, you work your way in with the silverware.
Right, I know about the silverware, but that whole bread and drink thing threw me for a loop because I haven't had bread on the left.
I don't know why I didn't know the bread.
D&D. I'll help you remember it.
Well, Shahida, I guess we're gonna have to arrange ourselves for a nice little fancy dinner and go see where they put that bread.
Because I don't even pay attention to that part. But anyway,
like I said, bread always comes in a basket, and we all just grab a piece.
But what's funny also is probably a generation above us. There are things that we don't do, even when we're doing that we don't do, that they're like, you don't soft shoe at so and so, or like,
it's really good.
You don't wear a cummerbund when you drive a.
You don't wear an ascot to the Derby. What's the matter with you?
I don't know what I'm trying to think of other traditions. I should look up like other traditions and other things that are considered etiquette wise.
Mm-hmm.
But etiquette and chivalry is not.
Oh, there's one more. There's one more that when you talk, I just thinking about it, my brain's going. When we're out now, let me give you a scenario. So if we were all out and we're sitting down having dinner, doesn't have to be nothing fancy, just dinner. And let's say I show up like maybe 10 minutes late and you guys are already at the table. Now, if I walk in, do you stand up? You better stand the fuck up because I will judge your black ass.
Not only that, I stand up or at least do this when they go to the bathroom.
That's right.
They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, no, you're. And then when they come back, I do this and I step back.
Yes. You have to. You have to.
Telling you, people tell you advantage.
And you can't eat. And this isn't a man-woman thing, but this is what it bothers me when the rare times that I go out to dinner. Like, until I am not touching my plate. Until everybody has their shit. And I can't tell you how many times I've been out and somebody's dish will come out first, which I think is a little tacky for the restaurant. Just fucking wait until everybody's shit's ready and just bring all that shit out. Or if it's a big group, bring it out and like with one at a time, whatever, tray at a time. But I will not eat. I won't touch anything until everybody has their food in front of them. Etiquette. And I've been sitting there many times and people like the food comes out and they're just like, oh, this is so good. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck are you doing?
But that's your moment to teach.
Yeah, but sometimes I just shut the fuck up and then I just go in and eat my food because I don't know who I'm dealing with. Like if it's people that, if it's people that I'm close with, then they know how I am. I'm going to say something. But if it's people that I'm just like work shit, like I go out, I mean, not recently because of COVID, but before when I was traveling for work and having like company dinners and shit like that, we'd be all sitting at a long ass table and the waitresses and waiters would come out with all the plates of food. And I'd be sitting there like, they're just going back to get the rest and coming out. And I'd see everybody be like, and I'm just like, the fuck? What the fuck?
And also, whatchamacallit? If you have your phone, out, during a meal, if you're on a date and you bring your phone out and you start talking on your phone.
If I'm on a date, that's one thing. If I'm hanging out with the girls, like if it's like me, Shahidah, Tracy, Nicole, if it's my girl tribe, 9 times out of 10, all of us are on the friggin' phone looking at shit. But what are we doing here? What are we laughing at? Why y'all crying? What's the matter? Shahidah, you all right?
She is watching Star Wars. She's the.
Oh, you were talking. You were referencing Shahidah because you. Shahidah.
No, Shahida's in her own little world right now.
I ain't mad at her because listen, Shahidah, I'm going to the Black Lady Weed store tomorrow, and I'm gonna be on one tomorrow. I love you. I effing love you right now. So, all right, we talked about that. What do we got? Where are we at right now? We are 46 minutes in. Do you wanna let this one go and wait for our next podcast to talk about my dating situation, which is non-existent?
Going on it, Chris.
Well, all right, I'll just say this. Okay, for everybody, Chris had told me about Hinge, and I was like, oh, I'm going to go on it. I downloaded the app. I started the process, and 20 minutes in, I was like, fuck this shit. I ain't got time. I had time. I was like, I ain't got time for this. It was giving me anxiety. I canceled it. I deleted it.
I think you're afraid to deal with the dating scene again.
I am. I don't want, and somebody told me this, that's very close to me, told me, you're not ready for that risk. He was like, you're not ready to take that risk.
I think you're ready for it. You're beyond ready for it. I think you're scared about it.
Yeah, I am.
What do they mean by ready for that risk? Because I think you're ready for it as well, but they might be seeing something different.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I always say that, and that's just what I said to them as well. I was like, I don't want to, and like the same thing I said to you guys offline off of this. I had said, I don't want to, like my biggest fear is investing time because, we're all of a certain age, and I don't want to invest. To me, a year and 2 years is good, but if it doesn't work out, now I'm going to be for the rest of my life. I'm going to be like, I just wasted 2 years of my life that I'll never get back.
That's like saying, oh, I'm going to go to Spain. I went to Spain and I didn't really like it that much, so I just went home. But you went to Spain and you saw Spain. There's good parts about Spain. There's bad parts about Spain. It was a long flight. You had a pain in the ass kid on the flight, this and the other. And it was like, oh, it was a real pain in the ass. But you went to Spain, even if it wasn't your favorite country. As opposed to just staying home and saying, no, I'm not going to go to Spain. Fuck Spain. Why the fuck would I want to go to Spain? Spain has all that. I got to fly 8 hours to do something. The same thing. You got to go and try.
I know. I don't know. I guess it's different because it's like Spain is Spain. Like I'm dealing with a human being here.
But I'm saying, look at it this way. If you do 1 or 2 years with somebody and the majority of that was happy, you didn't lose anything.
Right. And you will have learned something about that person, about yourself, what you like, what you don't like, what you can tolerate, what you can't tolerate. The more people you date, the more refined you can get on whatever it is that you want, even though you don't have to date as many. You have an idea of what it is, but, and also, you never dated a white man. If you never dated
I'm not going to. Not going to.
But even if you just went on a date, it doesn't mean you're going to get married.
I can't even do that.
But if you've never done it before, what's the hurt in trying?
I can't do that.
You never know.
Yeah.
There could be a nice white man out there for you.
No.
Be a nice Asian man out there for you.
No.
Be a nice Dominican man.
No.
Hispanic man.
Nope.
Short little Japanese man.
Hell no. You must be out your damn mind. No.
Konbanwa watashi wa Tanya desu. Hajimemashite yoroshiku, mama.
Yeah, no, that's enough. And not trying to be rude. I like what I like, and I need to feel comfortable with someone.
But you don't know if you're going to be comfortable until you go on a date with somebody.
I know, but I just can't do it. First of all, look, I'm sure I know that there's lots of handsome, attractive, sexy Asian men, Latino men. What else? Japanese men, white men, whatever. But they just don't. I can look at them and be like, they're cute, they're attractive, they're sexy, but they do nothing for me. I can't. I don't want to go on a date with them.
You see a sexy looking white man and he's like, hey, I'm into you. I'm going to open the door for you. I'm into you. I think you're attractive. I think you're really funny. I really enjoy this and the other. At least give him a date or two.
I can't do that.
Take you out. First of all, that's another thing. You need to have at least someone take you out to make you feel special. You haven't had someone take you out and make you feel special in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Everybody needs that.
Yeah.
But she might be able to get that in a black man as well. I mean, if her case is absolutely no for anything else, still we can get you dating somebody else. It's not them, it's her. She doesn't want to put herself out there now.
I know, that's what it is.
But I think
why not? But why not?
The risk just talking to somebody different, or and having dinner with somebody different. And usually 3-4 dates, if you're really into somebody, usually by the third one. So
yeah.
Or the fifth one, or
you're not wasting time.
True.
And you don't even have to kiss them after 5 dates. You have to do anything after 4 or 5 dates, even if you're really.
Well, I'd like to think after the third date that if I'm still putting myself out there after the third date, if we ain't fucking or making out, well, again, we're done. I don't give a damn how nice you are.
But you've got to get to the third date.
Oh, I know.
You can't get to the third date without the first date.
You gotta put her shoes on.
You can't get drunk unless you have one beer.
My problem is I'm deathly afraid of it. I'm just putting myself out there. I'm afraid. I don't know. Because because you guys know me. You guys know my story and stuff. You know my past. But I know.
You're a different woman now. You're a different woman.
I am. But I'm just closed off. I don't know why. I honestly couldn't tell you. I just don't have I like the idea now of being in a relationship and being in love and doing whatever. I don't want to get married ever again. I just want to have somebody in my life for the rest of my natural life that I love and he loves me. But I just don't want I always think there's going to be drama involved and I don't want that chaos in my life.
But you got to at least try.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. That's all she and I are saying. At least you are an attractive, smart, successful, home-owning, badass bitch.
Okay, good.
Why wouldn't you give a man a chance? There are plenty of men out there going, damn, wow, she's got all her shit together and she has all these things. She's nice, she's funny, she does all these things. I'd like to fucking go out with her. I know there's plenty of men that probably want to go with you. But you got to give them a chance.
Yeah.
Even if it's not perfect, nothing's going to be perfect. But you at least got to get out and feel what it's like to have a man open the door for you, to have a man come up to the thing for you. Even if they say, he didn't fucking do this. You can train him to do that or let him know, communicate that way. But as opposed to, no one's going to show up at your doorstep. Oh, let's be in a relationship.
I've been told that time and time again.
Amazon
what do you expect?
Prime.
The man of your dream to walk up the street and ring your doorbell and be like, bitch, hey,
Amazon
I'm here.
Prime ain't doing that unless it's the Amazon Prime dude delivering your package.
Or I'm sitting on my deck doing my deck life. Everybody knows I do my deck life. And they're like, that motherfucker ain't walking around the bend on your grass and being like, hey, boo, I'm here. I'll be like, well, that would be nice, though. I would love that. I'm just saying.
But you got to give it a shot. You got to give it a shot. You got to give it a shot.
You got to give it a shot.
Give it a shot. And also with these dating apps too, remember, you're not beholden to go on any dates you don't want to go on. If you find someone attractive, you saw that they spelled the difference between your, and your.
Yes, they have to. Two and two. There, and there.
If you can see that some you have even if it's the flirting, having a nice conversation with someone saying, "Hey, you're a beautiful woman." That's nice to hear too.
Yeah.
Even if it's a 60, 70-year-old, whatever man, troll that's like, "Hey, you look good." You're like, "Oh, that's at least I look good to the troll," or whatever it is. You at least need to hear that to edify. You're a woman. You're a woman, a young 52, 3-year-old vibrant woman who's got a lot to give too.
Yeah,
and can bring over the weed and the liquor himself. But you got to do something about it first.
I know. All right. So what are we gonna do about it? All right, I canceled my Hinge. I will get back on it, but I'm gonna need you to help me create my profile.
Bumble is for women that they can't reach out to you first. You have to reach out to them. So
I'm not gonna do Bumble.
Huh?
I won't do Bumble because I won't reach out to them first.
Yeah, but you want to have men reach out to you first.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Then you should do Hinge.
Okay.
And you put all your pictures up there. So there's and the good thing about Hinge is you can see. Well, if it's a woman, and all her pictures are like this or like this and like this and like this, I'm like, I can't see your fat ass.
You fat. Yes.
You got chubby cheeks. I can't see.
Yeah.
So you put a full body shot on there. We're gonna work with. Put a full body on. Do something you like to do that's fun. A great thing would be you on your deck with a cocktail, listening to music. One would be you, maybe at work, but doing something fun, going out, shop, whatever. But gives her a variety of the.
Look at Chris being a connoisseur.
Me jumping out of the plane. That would be good too, because I like an adventurous man. I don't want a fucking fuddy-duddy that's going to sit on the couch stroking his nutsack, talking about, hey, you want to go do that? No. I'm going to be like, I'm out.
Facets of who you are. You show them facets of who you are, and then let them come to you. You're the queen. And then you can decide, do I want this person to take me out? He seems that you can talk as long as you want on, text or whatever, and then you don't have to. When you're ready to give your phone number out, you can do that or this, that, and the other, and do it that way. I always ask beforehand. I don't even ask for the number. I usually wait for them to say, let's exchange phone numbers, because I always respect someone's boundaries before I would, do that. I'm not like, hey, because most of these dudes are like, hey, what's your number? Let's send me a picture. Yeah. Hey, I see, big old, I see. Can you send me
something? Send me a sexy picture. Send me something sexy.
But you can actually, see how they react to your pictures, what comments they make, and then open up the conversation, and then see what the conversation is like. It's all from a safe distance. You can still be not going out for 3 months.
I know.
But at least you have something that there's a possibility that this guy who lives 5 miles away from me, who's a doctor, who's been divorced for 6-7 years, and has no kids, or whatever, has kids who's in college.
Her heart stopped.
His kid's in college now, and he's looking for a companion. He doesn't necessarily want anything serious, maybe, but he's looking and he sees you. He's like, oh, and she's single and no kids and successful and all this kind of stuff, and she's funny. Why wouldn't he want to go out with you?
Yeah, you're right on that one. I'll drink to that.
He is your cheerleader, girl.
Yes, he is.
So that's what I'm trying to. But you got to put we can't put you out there. We can't. Yeah. You have to do that. You have to do that. And as I said, being afraid of maybe going on the date or this, that, and the other, you're not marrying. It's not like the first date you have to be married for 2 years. You're just like, well, after 2 years, I'm going to hate your ass. So get the fuck out. After what you did. You remember what you did a year and a half from now? You remember that? Remember I asked you to get some fucking butter in the thing because I wanted some cinnamon toast. I wanted butter and sugar and cinnamon on my toast, and I need butter, and it was just cinnamon, and I choked on the cinnamon because I had no butter, and you were supposed to get the butter. Motherfucker, get outside and get the fucking butter. And you did that a year and a half from now, you're going to do preemptively arguing with Mr. Motherfucker.
Right?
A year and a half from
now.
Oh my God.
You gotta get.
But that would be some shit I do and would fester on. Motherfucker forgot the butter. That's some bullshit.
But you at least get yourself in a place where someone can see you. Okay. If you're the best item and you're in the back of the store, up on the back shelf in the corner, and this guy's coming to the store and he's like, I want this. I want a purple hat with feathers, and there's nowhere you don't have a purple hat with it. Oh yeah, I think we have a purple hat with feathers somewhere. But Deborah, do we have a purple hat with feathers? Oh, well, let me see if I can get one for you. And then go back to look. I can't find it. But if you say, oh, you know what? We'll put this purple hat with feathers. We had this for a while. I've been putting it in the front. Oh my God, a purple hat with feathers. How much is that? $229. That's it. Oh, I'd have paid $400 for that. Yeah, let me go. Deborah, I'll take 2. Do you have 2? No, I only have 1. That's even better. No one else has it.
Okay, Chris, you're telling me. You taking it. Chris done took it to church. If I could reach my tambourine right now, I wouldn't be like, praise you, Jesus.
Be out there. You have to be out there to let people see you.
I have to. We'll get okay. I'm gonna get on the Hinge. I'm gonna go back on Hinge. Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna go and start it.
Right.
This is what I'm doing. I'm gonna go and create and start it, and then I'm going to text you my username and my password, and you are going to go in, and I will text you the pictures, and you can set it up for me.
But Chris, you have to include me. I'll
include you both. I'll make sure when I text you, you both have the username and the password, and I'll send you a plethora. I'll send you a plethora of pictures. I got full body. I got my hair in a bun. I got my hair out. I got my hair in braids. I got all kinds of things.
You can use the picture from this. That little cute little picture you use for this. That's showing you having fun with your little braids and like this.
Yes.
But I'll give you Shahidah will give you what a woman's perspective, that kind of thing.
Oh, and Shahida's the writer. Shahidah can write up some shit.
And I'll give you the man of let me see that. No, that titty. I need to see the right titty because you only have one titty on there. You may be lopsided and only have one titty. One titty like this.
Like right now, one titty's like this and this and this.
I saw a woman on Hinge and all her pictures are like this. Were like this. Right. And I'm like, does that bitch have a weird eye? And I couldn't tell because all her pictures were from the side. And one eye was looking this way and the other eye was like this. You can tell the other one was looking. And I was like, why is that eye looking straight at me? And I was like, and all her pictures, I was like, you can see what people are trying to hide. Best. They're all trying to look for the best.
And I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on the ones where the pictures are always like the head and the shoulders, and that's it. And men do that too. And I'm like, you got 32 pictures even on Facebook. I'm just not talking about the dating sites, but on social media where I'm like, all your pictures are like from the neck up. Like
my best friend who's a female, my best friend.
Yes.
Wasn't on any apps whatsoever. Was not at all. I said, let's get you on Hinge. I did her profile for her. I picked out her pictures, did all that kind of stuff. She's been in a relationship with a man for the past
that she met on Hinge.
8 months.
Because he did her profile. Thank you, Chris. You're gonna do my profile.
8 months they've been together. They've been for 8 months, and living in the and she spends most of the time living in his house in Malibu.
Malibu, excuse me.
And they just got back from Vegas, and they go all over.
8 months. You better get on here
from Hinge. And I told her to get on Hinge. I said, you need to get on Hinge. She's like, no, I don't want to. You need to get on Hinge. Nah. I got her on Hinge. She's like, I said, what'd I tell you? She had so many dates. She was like, there was like 3 men that she was kind of like, I should put her bit, but she was like, so many people were coming after her. And she was like, oh my God, well, there's this guy, he's like this. Well, this guy, he's like this. This young guy, all these things. And we would go through them and I would say, you like this guy? I really like what he does here. And I like this guy. And she didn't have to sleep with any of them. She just let them take her out and then see who's the gentleman, who treats her like the way she deserves to be treated, and then picked one. And she said, this is the one. He treats me the way I want to be treated. And he has treated her the way she want to be treated.
Well, let me say this. This is how we're going to end this. And I know, Shahidah, you always do the close, but I'm going to close it out right now. This is what we're going to do because it just popped in my head because I just watched the Married at First Sight matchmaking edition this morning. I watched it this morning and I am ready for this season because it's going to be a fucking shit show. But having said that, We got the Married at First Sight. Y'all know us with our Married at First Sight recaps. But now we're just going to add a little thing to that. TT's going on Hinge.
Nice.
So we'll have the Married at First Sight recap with following up with the TT's.
I'm dying to
Hinge
see
dates.
That's going to be good.
Dying.
I'm ready. Let's do it. Let's do it. Because I want my own Woody too. I want to be a Monty to Woody.
You got to be out there though.
I got to be out there. Yes.
Nope, that's gonna happen.
So let's hey, everybody have a wonderful weekend.
Yes,
and we'll see what happens with Married at First Sight and TT. Married at First Sight and TT on Hinge.
Married at First Sight is on Wednesday night.
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday. Okay.
They show the
first episode to be coming up this week.
It's coming. The next episode is going to be about them telling their families and stuff that they're getting married.
Right.
And then it's going to take 2 weeks because when I watched the matchmaking episode this morning, they matched everybody and then told them that they were getting married. So next week's episode is going to be them telling their family and friends that they're getting married. And then it's going to take, then they're going to wait 2 weeks before the wedding episode.
Okay.
There's some good couples too.
Okay. I'm going to watch it.
So
you got to watch it.
Black folks in there too.
There's 2 black couples and one of them I like and no, not 2 black couples.
There's 2 brothers.
One black couple and one brother's from Colombia. He's Colombian and he's marrying I don't know, what is she? She's Mexican, I'm assuming, from Houston.
Yeah. With issues.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know how that's going to work with them too, but we shall see. But anyway, y'all, listen here. You two stay online real quick, but we're going to close this out. Right. Look at here. Until next week, another episode of Still Dope. We'll holler at you next week. Peace out.